guys. So, let me tell you a little bit about my day. This morning I woke up and was drawn, for whatever reason, to go to that Charlie Kirk Memorial here in Palm Bay this morning. Saturday, what's today, the 20th? Let's see. I think so, yeah. Yep, the 20th. Okay, so today, Saturday the 20th, to go down to my local city hall where one of the council members decided that he was going to try to get some clout and throw a march and rally for Charlie and for all of the folks. I can't remember exactly how it was worded, but I'll show it on the screen right here. For those harmed by lefty something, okay? Ridiculous. He fought, but they had a city council meeting. He spoke at this city council meeting to the folks who showed their dissatisfaction, let's say, with their local government for, caring about him only and doing this rally. So, but anyway, so I ended up going there this morning. Excuse me. I ended up going there this morning, and I spent the morning, actually, the entire time that they had their rally, I spent reading the names of everyone who has been killed by gun violence this year, starting from today backwards. And unfortunately, I only made it to August 14th, even through all that time, because there have been that many people killed. And while I was doing it through my megaphone, on the opposing corner from them, so that I wouldn't be right in their faces, but they were pissed off because they were butthurt is more like it, that someone had written messages in chalk on the sidewalks that they were marching on, to their little rally out in front of my own, my city's, my city hall. And at the end, some people drove by and said horrific things, and then some people drove by and walked by and saying horrific things, which I'm a big girl. So I just kept reading the names over the top of them yelling these things about how I should die and blah, blah, blah. Of course, they had no idea what I was doing there. Incidentally, I was interviewed by two of the local news stations about why I was there, because I was the only one. But anyway, I guess we were not supposed to do the group of us. We're not supposed to do a anti-rally, and that's okay, because that's not what I was doing. So, whatever. But these two men, one younger, one older, when they were leaving, when they were walking by me, the younger man, who I think he said he was in his early 20s, was wearing the white t-shirt with the word freedom on it that Charlie was wearing the day he was shot. Not the same one, obviously, but a replica of said shirt. And I couldn't help myself, guys. I looked at him and I said, why? He's like, what? Why? What? No. Why? please, if you want to honor Charlie, the last thing you need to do is dress like him the day he was killed. That's the last thing. And it breaks my heart to see you dressed like that. And the fact that he had a MAGA hat on and all that shit, I ignored that, okay? It was that shirt that, like, fucking, I guess you want to call it triggered me, but triggered me. Not for the reasons you'd think. I just didn't think that he would want to be eulogized that way. I could be wrong, but I've been wrong before. There you go. So anyway, it ended up that we had a pretty good conversation. We talked about a lot of things, and of course we agree on all the things that we spoke about. We just disagree about how to get there. Okay, we talked about gun violence in schools. They want armed security all over the place. I want people to not have all the guns that they have. 100 per person in the U.S., kind of. And I'm a gun owner, mind you. They're the ones who told me about the stuff on the sidewalks because they were butthurt about it. He took pictures, the father, Dan and Dan, the father, Dan, took pictures of the sidewalk and showed them to me. And while I could see that he was butthurt, I just kept my cool. But afterwards, I was like, oh my God, I would love to meet the people that had the balls to do that, right? I met them today. They were fantastic. Wonderful people. And they were so angered by the fact that they're choosing one person was evident. I spoke to them. So they were super cool. But anyway, back to Dan and Dan. So we agreed to disagree. They asked if they could pray with me, which, as a pastor, of course, I prayed with them. I prayed for the end of gun violence and to a solution to everything that's all the anger and the crap that's gone on in the last year. So I didn't feel too bad about, saying a prayer with these guys because we wanted the same thing. So they also offered to take me over to meet the council member, Chandler Langevin, yeah, he was just the douche you thought he was going to be. Of course, he's strapped, and he's got this holster that's red, white, and blue flag, and eagle, and we the people, and whatever, kind of bullshit, because we want everybody to notice that we're carrying a gun, which, by the way, our county just went open carry fairly recently. So there were guys there that are all tacked out and, gunned up to the nines, and they were supposedly security. Ask a cop to cover the area. That's what we do. But regardless, I just felt like the rest of the people who've died by gun violence deserved to have their names called out too. So that's what I did. Later that afternoon, this afternoon, I went to a rally. It was Workers Against Bullying. I can't remember, but basically, it was another rally for us. Same place that we always have them. Up in Cocoa, because I haven't really seen many of them right here locally. But there was a decent turnout there. It was a nice turnout. It was very hot. And I wore one of my outfits. Today was The Handmaid's Tale, hence the shirt, because I wore that underneath so that when I got really hot, I can take the costume off. But you have to make people notice what's going on. And if it takes wearing costumes to do it, well, I guess that's what I'm going to do. So, the rally went well this afternoon. It was nice. I walked across to all four corners to visit with all the folks and say hi and see folks that I know from other rallies. Yeah, so it was a good day. I'm wore out. It was hotter than two motherfuckers out there. But I feel good. I feel like my conscience is clear. I'm doing what I feel like I'm drawn and called to do. And you can't take that away from me. You know, you might not agree with me, but it's my right to do so, at least so long as we continue to live by our Constitution. I can only hope. All right, you guys. Take care. Be safe out there.